off, but 2 quick goals, and we've got OT, maybe a couple of attempts there. In the final moment, Fossey on the dribble. We saw what he could do earlier off the backboard. Pond doesn't have the shot. I don't think he anticipated the miss, but this is an action-packed game here, Wade Punk.
Oh, underneath too. Here's Pond. Oh no, Pond missed. Fossey manages to get back. It's going the whole length. Snip doesn't have any boost to reach this ball, but he does stop it from going the end zone to end zone goal.
Wow.
Oh, this is crazy. You said action, Turtle. You're not wrong. This is crazy.
It's gory. It's getting really, really bloody out there on the field because not only are we seeing some great mechanics, but some very awkward defensive rotations where there's little gaps here and there that teams are trying to exploit. And there it is. The OT goal in favor of Rebel. They get a game and tie up the series.
They do get a game here. So of all the goals to go in, an interesting one there, but Astromech finds the shot, a nice tight angle there, and the 3-2 overtime going to Rebels. They're tying up the series, 1 game apiece.
We almost saw a buzzer beater, a 0-second goal from both teams. Euphoria got it clear. Moving forward, the ball was popped up, but then Rebel, it's this constant battle of counterattacks between both teams, and this is one of my favorite types of play styles within a series that we get to cast because it's non-stop, Wade Punk. Both these teams, they don't want to slow it down, and when they do, it's only for a few seconds because we saw the dribble from Fossey. That was maybe the only dribble right here, that flick, beautifully done, well placed, but that was about it. Everything else was just chaos on the field.
Yeah, man, there was a few moments there towards the end of the game where Fossey again had the ball in his hood, and I was ready for another dribble flick from him, but didn't quite get in. Defense maybe slightly better positioned on those rounds, and yeah, here in overtime, I'm not gonna lie, the double buzzer beater attempts there, I feel like both teams just were like, let's just throw all the cars down there, and if it goes in, cool, and if not, we'll play some overtime. I loved it though. It's fun, fascinating Rocket League to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure all the fans at home rooting for Rebel are, you know, a little bit relieved because at first it seemed like there was going to be this unreal comeback from Euphoria. Then, speaking of a comeback, they denied it in the last game, and they don't want to give Euphoria another chance at it. You got Astromech with the first goal.
Snip over 1. Fossey barely can't get a bumper onto the ball, and then he's just loose behind it, moving away, and giving space for the shot. Rebel will take goal number 1 in game 3, looking for match point. Brunevitsky, the challenge does not go his way. He's got to play to his own corner now. Here comes a follow-up shot from Astromech. Fossey's got it away. Bruno to the outside. Doesn't get the second touch. It'll go to the midfield, and Snip picks up the ball. Pan to the back wall to double commit from Fossey and Bruno. They try to move this one forward. Astromech in the midfield now. Over the top of Pan, but Brunevitsky on the rotation. Will block any easy shots. First minute here, a back and forth, but mostly it's Rebel with ball control. And we're seeing Euphoria play some solid back third defense.
Right. Well, one thing I love about both of these teams and their play styles is the lack of hesitation. I mean, while sometimes it can be detrimental to their own defense and their own leads, a lot of times these teams will go up and overextend and throw all 3 players forward. They're willing to do that so long as they get the best possible chance. Really, no matter what the risk is, they just want to throw everything they have at the other team. We see Astromech here coming from the ceiling. What a dunk to keep this pressure on. Rebel, they're looking good. They've cleaned up on defense, and they're starting to win a couple of more challenges with that speed game.
Jan through the sky. He'll bump Pon. Now Fossey to trace this down. Got Bruno there as well. Bruno nearly actually puts it between the posts, but the defense will block it. Now Jan will pop over 1, snips up for it. Pan somehow has the read. Astromech gets it through 1, but Fossey was able to block enough. Here's Snip now, just looking for the pass into the box. Tried to find Jan, but the ball stretches past the shooter. Jan has to do a lot of work just to get it back into the back third. And this pinch going dangerous. The goal. Snip manages to get a block, and the follow-up's not quite there. The ball outpacing the offense from Euphoria. Still just 1-0 Rebel.
Oh, the flip reset from Jan. He's been doing it all series long. Almost led to an opportunity. That man is deadly. If you see Jan in the air and you're on Euphoria, you have got to be scared, Wade Punk. He can do almost anything so long as he has the right amount of space and boost. And here he is again. The plays. He's making too many plays.
Snip on the pass here. Alongside Jan over the top of 1-0. Snip on the shot, excuse me.
What on earth?
Yeah, he did. Somehow, as I saw, it says Snip got the assist here, but no, Snip definitely puts that towards the goal. It goes off of Jan's bumper. Fascinating stuff there. And now a 2-goal lead approaching halftime. They were able to do this in game number 2, and then a wonderful dribble and a kickoff goal later. We had a tie game. Can they hold off the Fosse pressure?
Oh, maybe follow up there from Fosse. The speed was there, but nobody's ready to take advantage of the one play we've seen out of Euphoria, and now it's a 2v1. Let's see what happens. Astromix into the midfield, but we got Bruno there. The dribbles, this has been the one key factor, I'd say, for Euphoria that has been going in their favor, those dribbles. Maybe slow the game down. You're not winning in the mechanical side of this series, so you've got to try something else. Maybe go for a couple more demos, because a 1v1 with Jan, it's over.
They're definitely not winning the air game. Right now, Rebel is playing much better airborne as Jan's going to try off the backboard here, misses the touch. Bruno now. So set up an Astromix, keeps the ball in the midfield. Fosse's up for it. He doesn't have anyone to pass to and doesn't have enough boost to carry it himself, so he'll just send it to the back wall and let his team reset.
Oh, man, and nobody's even there from Astromix.
Oh, no.
He gets a midfield touch, and we didn't even see a challenge for so long. No boost for Pon, and you're able to keep this pressure up. He still has no boost, but it's working somehow and getting through the defense. But Rebel, I mean, it's too easy. Astromix, the dribble, looking a little bit like Fosse out there on the field, and he gets that counterattack.
I guess nobody wanted to touch the ball. It's just like 30 seconds, like so many whiffs. At this point, it was Astromix touching the ball. Cool, he's going to score. 3-0 for Rebel now with 1:30 left to go on a simple play straight up the middle.
I mean, Euphoria are just, at this point, getting outclassed in the mechanical side and the speed side. Yeah. And at that point, what do? You do want to slow the play down, like I mentioned, and go for some dribbles, but it's going to be difficult because your boost is completely gone. Everybody on Rebel are rotating so fast within your own corners, taking the pads, taking the full boost, that whenever you finally do manage to get it, you're overwhelmed by the pressure and those mechanics.
Getting control on the ground and maybe able to slow things down with a dribble and have someone upfield looking for bumps could also be a recipe for success, but still, it's a lot of resources to commit downfield when you're struggling to keep up in pace in your own half.
Well, we do know that Euphoria have the advantage in challenges. Remember the first game, it was the 50-50s in the midfield. So whenever Euphoria are in position and can take a fair 1v1 fight with that challenge, a lot of times it will go in favor of Euphoria. Here's a midfield pass for the shot from Bruno, and maybe there's a chance.
And the midfield play again here. What a pinch from Fosse. And Bruno, quick side flight there to send the shot straight down the middle into an empty goal. They will get on the board. 30 seconds left, a 2-goal deficit. Difficult comeback, but we've seen it happen before.
We've definitely seen it, for sure. Something could result.
Oh, no.
Just need to get and focus on the clears. This is too much. It's too much for Rebel.
This kickoff went very poorly. Astromix touch over the top of the third man. Fosse's trying to get back in time. It's maybe even without Fosse's touch, he doesn't block there. I don't know. That was a very rough kickoff.
Yeah. And that has been going in favor of Rebel the past few games, which is good if you're a fan of them, because you want to see them with boost and able to keep pressure like they have been. Another save there comes out. But again, I'm not really sweating for Rebel. I don't think they're faced with a lot of adversity because the shots, the challenges, even the backboard reads from Euphoria, there's been a lot of whiffs on defense. I think that pressure is starting to get to them a little bit, and they're feeling nervous.
The pressure is starting to build, but at the same time, both teams really just kind of playing placement at this point.
Oh my goodness.
Buzzer beater. Well done.
Hold on a second.
Can they just pass more? Because it works every time.
Look at this. In the midfield, this was a couple of passes strung together, and it looks beautiful. This is exactly how you break down the Rebel defense. A lot of times, Rebel isn't anticipating those midfield touches. That's what worked in the first game so well. Bring that back. That's what we want to see to get into Game 5, Wave.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I want to see pass plays always in Rocket League. They're maybe my favorite thing. When teams just like, oh, let's just pass the ball to each other. And then right now, Rebel struggling with midfield control entirely, but they don't really need it with how strong they're playing in the 1v1s, especially in the corners, in the back thirds, and just in the air. They're doing so well that they don't need to necessarily block the passing lanes. But they're getting there enough that I think Euphoria, the reason we're not seeing more passing out of Euphoria has been Rebel's pressure. So, I don't know. It's not the easiest thing of just saying, oh, just pass more, you know?
Exactly. Well, 100%, because, you know, boost comes into play. the pressure that you've been dealing with, because people don't realize, you know, with these players when they're on the field, you know, we could see from the spectator mode that they've got all this space that they could just dribble and go for. But when you're actually there on the field with how fast Rocket League has evolved and developed, you're panicking. You don't have any boost. You're on defense. You just want to get your team, a couple of seconds to breathe, to get some boost yourself. So you're going for the instant flick, the biggest clear you can find. But most of the time against a team that has the mechanics against you, that is horrible, because you're giving away pressure and they're able to do whatever they want in the air. And that's what we're seeing here. Rebel just on fire. They've got, it was Jan with the double taps, first of all, to start things off. But Astromech, he has been popping off himself.
Astromech has been doing well, especially in the first man role. Putting pressure downfield, getting a pass, setting up a teammate. Sometimes it feels like he's doing a better job than his teammates are doing following up.
When it's going to be very, very hard for Euphoria to shake this Rebel team, get in their heads and mess with their mentality because of how strong a day they've had. I mean, they beat neutral. They've only dropped one game before coming into the series. They dropped another one in this series. Maybe this is the third one.
Empty backboard. Astromech's going to try as the guillotine drops, but Fossey will close on him and dumpster that ball to the back. That's the first goal for Euphoria. Here in game 4 right now, Rebel on match point. A win in game 4 gives them a 4-0 in their group and the top seed cleanly going into day 2. Past one. Fossey's trying, but he's out of boost. Jan now on the backboard. Plays it out to midfield. Fossey finds a demolition on the pass. Now plays it himself towards the backboard. Snip's got to get it there. Now Bruno over the top of two to an empty backfield, and Astro will move out of the corner. Euphoria with so much pressure here. As they follow up underneath, Bruno couldn't find it. Oh, the defense finds the clear. This was just barely off of what would have been a goal on the other side.
You've got to put that away if you're Bruno.
Yeah.
You just saw an incredible movement down the field from Pon to set up that counterattack. He was so much faster than the midfield player out of Rebel. And then Bruno had the perfect shot, but he just overhit it, extended a bit too much. And Euphoria, that could have been some security.
Jan now with Snip in the midfield. Doesn't go for the pass, goes for the Jared dribble. Look for the flip reset. Pass to Astro to the back wall, but Bruno's there and Fossey was ready to dive if Bruno missed. Fossey trying to go over two. Astro puts it just wide of the goal. Two defenders there, but the shot no good.
Oh, another
miss on the backboard. No! Oh, the whiffs. They are able to punish him every time.
This has been plaguing Euphoria all series long. In the first game, I'd say they were way more consistent, but something has gotten in their way. They can't find those reads, and it's difficult because you've got ball cam on Wavepunk, but at this point, in this high level of Rocket League, you've got to make that read every single time.
You cannot miss. They're going to put the pressure on you. And a tie game now. Rebel looking for one more goal to go ahead with the series. Bump in the midfield will open up the ball for Fossey, but he just cranks it to the backboard. And there's pressure from the rest of Rebel. Now through two. Fossey might turn on this one. No, but Jan will take it for free.
Look at all the space. Jan just basically dribbled that for free. There was nobody there to challenge from Euphoria. Was able to just get a free pass going into the defensive half of Euphoria. That's just crazy to me that you're giving that player so much space.
Especially right now. Oh, what a touch from Bruno into the box. No one had crashed it and looking for the shot, but brilliant setup there again. From Bruno. And here comes Jan. This guy's got the flip reset. Goes away. One takes the shot out.
Look at what happened.
That's insane. What a play.
Do not give this player any space. He's going to get the flip reset. And then the musty. The fake in mid-air. Jan is unstoppable.
Oh, that reminds me of a certain shot from Squishy back in season 4.
Just with a little bit more flash, you know?
A little bit more. Still incredible stuff. Wow. 2-1. Rebel take the lead in brilliant fashion. Goria got their work cut out for him. Gotta stop giving these players space. Jan is taking advantage of it every time he gets it. Double commit here. Bruno's got to try and stop him, though, in the third man. And he's gotten through two. Takes the shot. Astro's up for it. Can't get enough of it. No. Oh, what? The ball was all the way in. You're kidding me. And then Pan and Fossey double commit egregiously on the follow-up. They won't get two shots out of it.
How do you not double commit? You see that ball on the goal line. You think it's going in. Everybody's throwing themselves at it. But the savior, not only on offense, but defense, Jan, comes through, gets that save, and they are in the lead. 1 minute and 32 seconds left. Euphoria have got to make a move downfield.
Oh, that was a demoralizing goal to miss as well. For it to be so close and then ripped from the jaws.
Snip.
Euphoria trying. There's Bruno off the back wall. Pan's going to try and block this one. Demolition on the Fassi opens up some space. Astro's going to try and turn on this one. He gets the pass back into the midfield, and there's the pressure from Jan, just wide of the goal. Follow from Snip as well. Bruno's going to block this one and the next.
The dunk.
He gets it through one, but the dunk does go wide, and now Bruno's just trying to block Jan. Here's Jan onto a backboard. This time Fassi will get in the way. Astromik onto the backboard again, and 2 players off to the side. Fassi on the ground has to play defense all by himself, but he's given a bit of space by Rebel. And we'll be able to breathe for just a moment. 48 seconds left, though. Euphoria trailing by 1. They've got to score to stay alive in the series.
I mean, Rebel have been able to have kept this ball, in the half of Euphoria for the past 40 seconds. This is ridiculous. They are wasting so much valuable seconds off of the clock that Euphoria could use. Bruno does take the boost, but there's all this space for Astromake to force another double commit. Euphoria, their backs are against the wall in this series.
The double commits have not been very heavily punished in this series. It seems the teams are rotating well enough. But Jan onto a backboard, he gets it off to the corner by himself. Seems that, but I agree. Like again, you could see the panic and the pressure from Euphoria with 8 seconds left.
Double tap.
They've got to get control of the ball. Is it gonna do? Jan hits the 0-degree angle out of the corner. This is gonna secure the game.
This is unreal. They talked about MVP on the pre-show. I believe it was Card and Raise Bull. Jan, he's making a name for himself right now to be on that list, to be in contention for it. He is remarkable in this series. It's such a pleasure to watch.
And that one should seal the deal there. The clock will expire. Can't score 2 goals in 0 seconds. Fan will take it to the sky and respect the golden rule, but the ball will eventually, inevitably hit it. And Rebel take the series in 4 games, perfect in their group.
I mean, it's a rare sighting that we see a player, I see him going for that double tap, and I'm thinking, he's all out of juice, he's all out of energy. There's no way. He's used up all of his mechanics for the day, right? He's hit the flip resets, he's hit the double taps. Surely he's not going to get that 3rd goal here to finish off the hat trick, but of course, he finds that angle, and that just represents how this series went after game 1. Euphoria looked dominant. I thought maybe we'd see a surprise upset, potentially a game 5 with Euphoria taking it, but no. The response, the instant turnaround from Rebel, it was clean. It didn't get disrupted with their mentality, and in my opinion, they're looking like a favorite going in to tomorrow, Waypunk.
They are looking so good, and the goals from Jan across every game.
So good.
Absolute joy to watch there. He's a great player, and I'm excited to watch him play again tomorrow. So that does it for that group. They are done for the day. We got one more match here on the main broadcast. Erased taking on Noble. We'll have that and more after the break.
Verizon knows how to build unlimited right. Start with America's most awarded network.
I'm on my phone 24/7.
Then, for the first time ever, give families more entertainment with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, now all included.
We're a big soccer family.
Handmaid's Tale. I love Frozen.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need.
You get so much more than this, a great network.
With plans starting at just $35. The network more people rely on gives you more. This is unlimited built right. Only on Verizon.
People think this is an individual sport, that it's all about the driver. But if you don't have the timing and the right team, it doesn't matter.
There you go, champ. Awesome.
It's a bit of a dance, really. You've got to stay ahead of the game. And even then, sometimes your best isn't enough. You've got to work together to pop off. Let's go.
Hello and welcome back to the Rocket League Championship Series. You are watching the South American Spring Split Major. I'm Leaf, and alongside me is Chimako and Dex. Still, you guys haven't left me yet. You haven't abandoned me like Gibbs has. They're still around to watch some more South American games. We're getting closer and closer to the end. Let's recap this last one before we get to our final match here. Rebel versus Euphoria. Euphoria put up a bit of a fight, Chimako, but at the end of the day, Rebel did come out on top as predicted.
I got scared a little bit with our predictions because that first match for Euphoria was good. I mean, they came shooting everything, we just putting the ball on the net very, very well. And the second match was good as well. But at the end of the match, it was Euphoria who won the second game. And after that, there was no stopping Rebel. Rebel just decided to just do whatever. And Yanks was incredible in that last game. He was making every single shot. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that Musty right there, that's a top 10 contender.
Yep. Nope. Definitely. That's in the list there, Dex. This was, we continually get surprised by the amount of, well, maybe you're not surprised, but I'm getting surprised by how many sick plays are happening.
Oh, we're having tons of sick plays here, definitely. And we're talking about that. Rebel has been doing an amazing job all this season. Euphoria was a team that could have brought some fight to this match. It wasn't enough. They got some games, but at the end, Rebel is... We were talking about Rebel since the beginning. It's been an amazing team all this season. So yeah, they're just showing us what they can do.
That's for sure. Let's take a look at the groups now as we see what all the teams were doing today. We finish out that group there. All finished up. Rebel with the 4-0 on the group. True Neutral right behind them 3-1. Exactly as we had predicted. A free win. Unfortunately, that team going 0-4 at the bottom. They'll be knocked out. Papa over in the other group over there with a few teams still trying to sort it out. We have 2 more matches to go here. Chimako, again, Group A, exactly where we thought. And look at Erased sitting over there with a 3-0 right now.
Erased is the team that has not disappointed us today. These guys just brought the hype. They told us to talk about them. Oh, actually, they did not. But I cannot stop talking about them. They have been so impressive that I have to tell everyone about it. It's a shame, that we're not going to have a championship with more teams because it would have been so much fun to watch them and maybe even Rebel in there playing like a 4-team championship or something like that. But it's still we have tomorrow, and we're gonna see them play against each other very well. So I'm glad that you guys are watching, that it's not all hype, that they actually bring the game and they can have the results.
That's for sure. Noble is gonna have to try to take him down though, because Race is facing them next here as we get to our final match. Erased looking good. Chimako's been calling it all day. Everyone kind of had their eyes on them. They're sitting at 3-0, trying to go 4-0 right now to clean up this group. But Noble does want to get that dub there, put themselves in a good spot after that final series there as Furia faces off against Out of Skill. But this is the one we got here on this broadcast. Dex, this is going to be a tough one for Noble. They've been looking all right on the day for sure, but Erased is looking hot.
Yes, right now the top 4 of both groups looks exactly well. It has the teams I hoped it would be there, just not in the order I predicted. But definitely, Noble versus Erased. This is a tough match. I wasn't expecting Noble to get to the top 2, and they're there. Erased got the top 1, which is completely surprising. So this is gonna be tough. This is gonna define probably who's going to be the top 1. I'm not sure right now.
Yeah.
So yes, for seeing purposes, this is incredible. But we have seen that Noble has had some issues. Has had some issues in the past games. So they have to work on that before this match.
Well, it's time to get to the Verizon fan vote. One last one for the day here, guys. So get your hashtags in the chat right now to vote for the team you think is going to take this one. And real quick, before the match gets in, let's get our predictions out right now as well. Do we think it's going to be Erased, or do we think it's going to be Noble? I think I know where Chimako's lying on this one, so we'll let him go last. I just want to see if he flips it on us. I believe I'm going with Erased. In all honesty, I believe that you guys have been hyping up, so I have to stick with Erased on this one. Dex, who are you going to land on here?
Well, we've been having almost perfect predictions here today. Again, my heart says Noble, but my mind says that it's going to be erased.
You're gonna go with Erased on this one. And Chimako, the big smug there, he's convinced us all. You going with them?
I have to. So much stock and nothing. No, I have.
Can you imagine you back out now? That would be a very Gibbs thing to do.
Noble.
It'd be a very Gibbs thing to do. But wow, chat is actually not on their side. They have Noble in this 56. It's very split down the middle.
I don't blame them.
Very close. Yeah, this is interesting. We have a good match coming this way to finish off our group stage here for the South American Spring Split Major. Get on Twitter at @RLEsports, hashtag RLCS. But enough talking. Let's get to the match.
Well, a bit surprising, maybe, at least according to Twitch chat, that the desk so heavily in favor of Noble, or in favor of Noble achieves chat, that being desk in favor of Erased. But, you know, maybe Twitch chat's onto something. You know, they did look pretty good against Furia.
Yeah, and there's definitely some keys to success there, obviously, over on Noble. I mean, Firefox, Renan, and Habercamper is not a team to take lightly, right? We've seen them show up time and time again. Every time we've got the opportunity to zoom in and really take a good look at South America, and it's going to be a lot of fun one way or the other. That's the best part about South America, is no matter which way you dice it, you're always assured fireworks.
Fireworks, indeed. There have been some really fun matches today, and a healthy helping of own goals, if I do say so. And I don't know if we'll get more of that here, but considering some of the stuff these guys like to go for, you know, you're in store for at least one.
There's currently some decent early pressure. Habercamper in time to delay a push, and look at Sadness, so aggressive. PJ already right there for it, and just looking to lay it into those lower left corners. Quick transitions, starting off from Erased.
No, Luke ended up missing that challenge. Nice pickup from Sadness, forcing the rotation wide for Firefox. Nothing really working for a race to try to get out of the blue half right now. Noble have control of midfield. Continue to with Renan behind the ball. Renan slipping underneath Sadness, but Sadness gets away from that one. He's able to shovel the ball out a couple of times on defense so far. And gets underneath the first attacker here, but Habercamper sends it across.
That's a good touch from Habercamper. He kind of realized all of his teammates got jammed right next to him, and he would rather dump that ball off into space and give themselves time to spread out, even if it means they don't necessarily hold on to possession. That was the right play.
Oh, PJ's got a net, and it's too light.
Wow,
Habercamper came in for a very clean save. Yeah, I was expecting that one to be a hard shot on target, and now Luke must slip underneath it. Habercamper takes it away again. Renan tries to slip it out, but PJ forces Habercamper to fight hard for possession, and he's going to get it back to Firefox.
PJ really thinking about how he wants to approach those challenges. He's got a good line on a lot of balls, and he's really trying to see if he can catch somebody on Noble being a little too aggressive with the touches and maybe just get that delayed touch around the defense.
Luke right over top of Habercamper. It's been quite a battle to hang on to the ball. The race did spend a little time in their own half, but Noble had been unable to put a shot on net. They might get their first here, but Sadness gets in the way, and again, the defense for a race clean right now.
What a touch from Sadness. Must make, or at least if you missed it, you were going to be under a lot of pressure. Firefox, I think, got bumped off an attempt right there. Noble pushing hard, but like you said, some brilliant mechanics on display on defense for Erased.
Well, PJ gets chipped off the ball, but Erased back in front. PJ wants to pass. Luke in front of it again, and he'll get the tip, but it's off the post. Luke shot denied again. Habercamper has been in the way of Erased all game long, and the 3 minutes belong to him so far, but Renan can pick up a save as well. 4 saves, though, for Habercamper as he gets the clear downfield.
Wild defensive game from both teams here. PJ kind of in an awkward spot, gives his life for it. Renan just needs to set up Habercamper, maybe get the bump. That's too fast across the net. Tough one for Firefox to come in and try and score it. Again, some great counterattacks, but just taking slightly too long to develop, or just the situation not quite perfect. Pass up to Renan. He's going to knock it straight back down. Too far for Firefox, and Luke has a chance to win the race, but everything should reset itself here.
Sadness got that grab outside of his own box, and that one right down for Habercamper. It's right into the net. Finally, Noble cracked through, and Habercamper on top.
chopped it down here from Renan. I mean, he just measured out PJ's approach and took the right timing to the ball and just killed it before it went out to the safety of the corner. Great play, Renan.
Again, this continues to be a solid game for Haberkamper. He's been tasked on defense with 4 saves and had a couple looks at the net, but got his first registered shot, which turned into a goal for him. And now he's in trouble, but he makes the touch against PJ, and Renan won't have to grab it. Firefox carries it back around the corner.
A lot of space here to work with as well, with Renan getting caught there in the midfield. Haberkamper has to give ground. This is not an easy thing to defend, but we'll see if Erase can really dig this ball out of the corner. That's the hard part. Floater towards the corner of the goal. Firefox there in time, and the clock's certainly a factor now.
Sadness gets that ball back out to PJ, and Erase get back on offense. Luke in traffic, blocked out, and onto the side. Sadness ended up backflipping. Saw Haberkamper coming up, and it's a quick transition for Noble back to the blue wall. PJ gets a hard clear out. Haberkamper cuts him off. And a nice slip around from Renan. Can he develop something here for his team? A drop down to Haberkamper's cut off by PJ.
Great realization from Haberkamper, too. He heard somebody jump from the other side and instantly backflip, so he'd have more time to recover. On defense there, it's not going to pay him any dividends, though. They missed 2 opportunities to clear it. PJ scores.
And that's the perfect drop for PJ. Renan tried to find the read, was expecting that to come down off the backboard. It came off just diagonally, so his timing was a little off, and the ball kicked out a little too far for him, and he wasn't ready for it. Your timing has to be perfect on drops like that, and it wasn't for Renan that time.
And Firefox as well, playing with fire. Sadness out of the middle. Luke is going to jam it under the bar. You spend like 3 minutes being down 0-1, and inside of 10 seconds, you're up 1.
Oh, and Renan tried his hardest to get below this before Luke was already on top of him, but just no luck for Renan in front of his own box today. That's 2 against by him and the entire Noble team. Erase taking the lead out of nowhere, Chiefs. Like you were saying, they had a couple nice looks early on, and maybe they get the insurance here. PJ slips underneath. Sadness on the wing, but he's got no boost. He wants to put it back on the ground. Haberkamper gets the kick out to Renan, puts it downfield. Luke wants the drop, and he'll get it. Erase take the first game on Manfield.
Wow. Talk about frustration. You know, your Noble Esports, the entire desk is sitting there like, nah, Erased has this. You get a pretty decent chunk of the chat vote. You're up 1 going into a minute under, and then boom, back-to-back goals from Erased, and you're just kind of sitting there scratching your head like, man, you gotta be kidding me. That's
especially after all the work they were doing on defense. I mean, Noble were withstanding some good early pressure from Erased, and you had mentioned their counterattacks a couple of times being pretty big threats down the field.
Both teams having to deal with some fairly speedy counterattacks back the other way, and there's the first goal from Haberkamper. It was feeling pretty good, but I guess it wasn't 3 minutes. It felt like forever that they were up, but it's just there's so much going on. He scored at 1:29 to open up the scoring. I thought that got scored so much earlier.
Yeah, I mean, there was maybe for Noble, you know, I'm thinking back to Dex and Chamako. They're like, they want to pick Noble. His heart was, or Dex's heart was to pick Noble, but he had to go with Erased. And I think that was kind of like a microcosm of how Dex was feeling. You know, they play all that stellar defense, but they can't quite get the machine churning on offense long enough for Erase to really respect it. And they get a pass. PJ slips underneath. He's looking pretty good right now, and it's back out to the corner from Firefox.
Make a good point about that Noble offense, though. Only 2 shots registered on target in the previous game, and despite having to play a lot of solid defense and battling pretty well for possession, like you said, just never really able to string it together into a couple of chances on target. PJ off the wall, Haberkamper almost own goals it, and that would have been a banger of an own goal.
PJ's been a big threat so far in the match. Every time he gets behind it, you feel a little bit of electricity in his octane.
Challenge.
That's a nice pass. Sadness gets that ball out, but you're right. He's just waiting around midfield. Habercamper won't give him a look at it, though. Keeps it as close as possible for Renan. Forces the challenge off PJ. Firefox gets underneath. Gets the double, and it's taken away by Luke. But Renan's quickly up for it, setting up another opportunity. But nobody from Noble is going to commit. Habercamper gets the first touch off the corner, setting up another play. But PJ plays it back around to the opposite side. Firefox kicking it back up. And Luke going to get the next catch down. Renan forces the challenge. There's nobody back in net. And Sadness comes out to grab it from Habercamper. He swims back around. Sadness again gets the clear and gets erased out of a pinch.
What reset? Oh, and he's going to fake it, stall it out, try and set up another opportunity. PJ trying to get creative. Great transition. He's just going to miss the bump on Habercamper. Would have allowed a goal, but we wanted more offense out of Noble. Well, we got it there in the first couple minutes, but just well-played defense from Erased. Some snap reactions, making great saves, and we'll see if that lasts.
And the ball kicked back out. And Noble, they've been able to match Erased in the shot total. But it's been very low scoring for opening 2 minutes. Only 3 shots apiece. Luke grabbing another ball. It seems like Erased are grabbing more and more of this ball and pushing it back to the orange half, but another clear down the field. Wow. But two demos to respond from Erased, and they'll get the ball right back.
Gotta love opening up the space for yourself to chop down a rotation somewhere and earn something back. But what I'm consistently impressed with is how well the people rotating back in from the initial attempted transition whenever it's getting challenged away. I mean, they've got some great ability to get back behind the ball on defense, and Luke is going to try his hardest to get this one by the defender, and he will succeed.
This whole progression was all Sadness. Forces that challenge out to give Luke a perfect angle on the ball, but that whole play started from his own corner where he gets the scoop away from the attacker, gets a perfect pass down to midfield, down to PJ, and then just never stops being a threat in the rotation. Sadness, a really good progression from his own end of the pitch down the other way.
Brennan, he's always the guy that I enjoy watching over on this Noble team. Very creative player, nice back pass, and let's set the can opener up with another chance.
Sadness takes it away, and PJ gets another touch. Erased, finding each other in space. Still they connect. PJ forces the ball through. Sadness on the rotation, passes it right back. PJ sends it back across to the corner. And still, how are Erased winning these challenges? There are 2 orange cars behind every challenge, yet an Erased car keeps coming away with it. Luke grabs the ball again in midfield.
It's just fighting for him consistently. It's that willingness to die for everything, regardless of whether or not you feel like you should be buying time or not. And they're doing a great job of recovering and keeping themselves in a decent enough spot to go for a second look. And it's just that delaying tactic, and more often than not, that's buying enough time for that support player to come through. As look at PJ. When he just gets the chip on it, Sadness immediately commits, and now they can just hang out here in the corner for a little bit and make sure that they have enough time to reset.
Every touch is into an Erased car. Habercamper swinging back around. He's got Sadness to beat, but Sadness cuts off the pass in front and gets the follow-up, pushing Renan back to his own corner.
Free ball.
And he just kicks it right back and skips off of Renan's car that turns into a decent touch for Erased, which could have been just possession giveaway.
Beautiful control from Firefox there as well to pull that one out of an awkward roll out onto your own corner. Give themselves a chance here with under a minute, but now it's all about how you win the challenges there at the midfield. Another big block from Firefox. And the bump on Luke. Just circle around. Do they have the boost?
Oh, he missed! Oh, he had a little bit more time to deal with it, but now PJ blows through one player and forces the challenge back out to the side. PJ able to pinch the ball out, using the last of his boost to do it, and Luke has to play catch-up and wait for Renan. Renan cut off by Sadness in midfield. It might be another push here for Erased. They just got to hang on to the ball in order to win. Noble, another push. Habercamper beyond midfield. He's got Renan. Hard off the backboard. Double touch, and it's saved. Around the post, gets him out. Luke able to pick up the save. PJ picks up the clear. And Erased just may have picked up the win, but hang on a second. Habercamper, he dropped it. PJ just gave him a chance.
It pinched and straight in.
Habercamper, he's got the pass to Firefox. Oh, quick dropped on the goal line. No chance. Erased will take the game on Forbidden Temple.
Oh, come on, man. You get that many spicy looks in transition with a couple opportunities to score some banger goals, and Renan, I mean, he had a chance to drill that double tap, but wasn't able to fit it right under the crossbar where really that degree of perfection is required in that instance, because they had the defender's back and he opted to make sure it was on target. Unfortunately, that put it too close to the defenders, and try as they might at 0 seconds, erased. Ben, don't break. And Luke, even himself not with a perfectly placed ball, was still enough to just beat the defender. And that one right there.
And like that play right there,
sad.
like Habercamper coming across like that, it's like that kept happening to Noble, where they'd get the setup, but then nobody was in the rotation to follow it up. And that hurts the most when you feel like we're winning these challenges, but then you don't have the boost and your team isn't ready for it. So Noble still have that question to be answered for them. Can they maintain that pressure and actually start finding these follow-ups in front of the box? Because if they do start having a player there, Erased will have to respect them. They just haven't had to yet. And so how does it shake out on DFH Stadium? And Erased would love to end this with a solid, 4-0 on the day?
Yeah.
And Noble just trying to inch their way back up the standings. PJ gonna push back for the back pass.
It's all back to, like you said, that support system being there. That one where they had the completely open net was just the happenstance of the demo pass down to Habercamper. And look at him squeeze it right in between the defender and the post. Beautiful shot.
And they didn't have much of that, which was Sadness straight up missing the clear. He's been pretty bang on with his contact. And you're right, yeah. Ended up punching it right in, though, for Habercamper, so he'll pick up that goal.
He smacked that off the post. To be fair, he was pretty much trying to hit the perfect shot on a dime there in the goal line, and sometimes you get a lucky. PJ had to respect the fact that there was a goal opportunity, and he committed. PJ dumps it off to Luke. Slow float. It's going to be just high, and Renan, what a beautiful clear, but can he make the second one? Habercamper going to bail him out of trouble.
Firefox able to get the push out to Renan. Quick transition taken away by PJ, but a dangerous back pass over to Luke will be safely carried out by Sadness off the ceiling.
Look how fast these transitions are. I mean, it's just pinches off the sidewall, people making snap reads. Habercamper wants the back post. He's going to drill it.
Habercamper unlocked his next gear in this match. Luke kicks it up real high. He's got no boost to follow it, and his teammate is rotating back. PJ was caught onto the post, expecting something to go at least closer to the corner. But Habercamper made him pay. 2 goals in the first minute from him.
That was a beautiful shot from Habercamper, and what a way to give yourself a little insurance in a series where you know you could have walked away with 2 early wins, and back up against the wall now. You got to give yourself every opportunity, and they've taken them so far, and now it's just a matter of holding it down. You don't need to give up anything too aggressive and try and extend the lead. Just have to hold on to the 2 comfortably. PJ gonna miss a double tap.
Sadness, while he got the boost, he lost the challenge. Firefox all over it, but Sadness gets back to it. PJ just lurking down around midfield. He gets the demo and may have given Sadness the play. The pass in front of Luke, off the crossbar, no follow-up. Habercamper gets there. So despite the disruptive nature of PJ's attack, they were unable to convert.
That was all the pieces coming together right there, and right before you snapped the last one in, someone moved the table on you, and you just popped it right next to the spot it's supposed to go. Unlucky.
Some of the puzzle pieces, I think, fell underneath the table, too. Now we got to shovel those out, and Habercamper almost sends a couple more tumbling in. But it's taken away, and Noble bumping into each other, a tight rotation, but PJ could not quite find a way to really wreak havoc on it. And Noble get back down to the blue half and almost find a 3rd goal. Sadness, with no boost, was able to pick up the save.
Yeah, and a couple people just kind of hanging out right there next to the line. Luke and PJ gonna finagle a beautiful challenge. Look at him turn the car sideways to stalemate it. Here's Sadness trying to chip it over Firefox. Again, they approach those challenges so intelligently over on the erase side, but Renan on the counterattack. He's one-on-one, and he's trying to do the same thing. Sadness doesn't bite.
Now, do keep in mind, Erased did score in the final 30 seconds on Manfield Night to come back and steal the game away from Noble, who were leading by 1 for the majority of that game. TJ just sends it across. They do not want Noble to have this ball erased. Really hunting for that first goal, but the snowball just won't roll down the hill.
That might get it.
That might do it. Off the post and in. Sadness collects, and Erased will pick up their first goal.
I mean, they really just get caught here on this perfect clear. I mean, they popped it out of their own half, and they're like, cool, we're on offense. Let's go apply a little pressure. Then there comes the bomb from Luke out of his own corner. Not on target, but who cares? You had a guy rotating back, says, oh, that's past all of them. I'll just make sure it gets in.
I mean, like Noble have been respecting that transition game so well from a race so far. Oh, they just dropped it, and Renan makes them pay. 3-1 for Noble.
Yeah, not much needed to be said here. Habercamper sets one up, and Sadness just slightly off time and comes in under that ball and can't make the recovery effort either. Renan, nice shot. Just make sure it's on target with a little bit of pace.
And that was just off the backs. Like I was just saying that, you know, a race, they had been handling the transitions from Noble really well overall, or excuse me, the other way around. Noble were handling the transitions from a race really well, whose passing has been on point overall for the set. Sadness can't quite work his way around the corner, but PJ comes in front of it. He's hopping all over the place today.
You cannot get a ball by that guy for
no
free.
way.
He's going to set up Sadness, and look at Sadness absolutely freeze Renan here on the goal line. He gets so tied up with thinking, here comes the shot to the back post, so he starts to hit reverse, and then Sadness drives almost parallel with the ball, so Renan can't actually read which direction he's going to shoot it. And then it's that delayed touch to go right in front of Renan's nose. Oh, gosh, that's just brutal to try and think about how to save that.
When your brain just, it's like, you know, Renan's brain is like speed, gotta go. PJ was like, oh, break number 1. Then Sadness was like, how about break number 2? And that's too much whiplash. Achieves. Can't handle
brutal, man. It's just the constant reshuffling of the situation at such a high speed in your mind. It's you just got locked up and tied up in a knot right there.
Noble have let Erased hang around in this game where they could have put it away multiple times.
Yep.
It's been a threat. PJ setting across, but Firefox will get the clear out. Luke in a tough spot. He's going to have to handle Firefox, but PJ helps him out, who just rolls around the pitch, gets a couple of bumps,
and he wins
the challenges, and is all around just a giant threat for Noble to deal with all over the pitch.
They have to hit the brakes here a little bit, though. They messed up their transition, the passing not quite online, and Sadness forced to defend. A strong shot here from Renan, and off the bar. What a save. But can they hold out and give themselves one last chance here under 20 seconds?
He's got PJ downfield, makes the contacts. And Habercamper cut off by Sadness. PJ cut off by Renan. Habercamper can't get there. Luke drop pass to Sadness. Sadness back over to Luke. Luke will find the ball back around the corner. Firefox out to cross to Renan. Can't find him. Time expires. PJ last chance. Sadness is pre-jumped it. The shot is in. Sadness reads the future and ties the game.
Look at PJ put this one in the perfect spot. He jumped before PJ's even jumped that ball off the wall. How do you squeeze that into a gap like that? What a play from Erased. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. I love this region. They just go for it. Especially Erased. PJ's just been going for stuff all match. He's just been roaming around the orange side of the pitch, getting demos, picking up some bumps, and just making life generally miserable for Noble. But Noble clapping right back. Sadness able to grab that save off the crossbar, and PJ gets the continuing touch.
Couple of scary looks there at the start of OT for Noble. Chipped out into the middle, and gosh, another beautifully timed challenge for PJ. Floater towards the goal. Firefox is in time. PJ, you just got to knock this down for Sadness. He's right there. They are going to 3-0 sweep. You have got to be kidding me.
Well, how fitting is it that Sadness puts this in? Oh, man, a delivery from PJ straight to his nose. 4 goals for Sadness to put Noble in the dirt.
Man, you want to talk about the epitome of frustration. We said it all game. Sadness might have 1,000 points here, but PJ's got 3 assists and every challenge in the book on lock. I mean, that was absolutely brilliant from Erased. How in the world did they bring that back? You got to play that 0-second equalizer again, right?
I need it like 3 times.
Right?
I need it like 3 times. Give me from PJ's perspective, Sadness is perfection, and Sadness is perfection. Wow, that just kind of slipped out. But I mean, that's just how it was, right? I mean, yes, he got the 3 assists achieves, but Sadness also had 5 saves on top of his 4 goals. And, you know, Luke, I'd say he was just happy to be there, but he wasn't. Luke had a lot of great valuable touches for his team. It's not as if he was slacking. It's just, look, when you don't have to work, you don't do the work.
Yeah, when you got one guy absolutely being a challenge monster and another guy seemingly always in the perfect spot to try and take advantage, you can kind of just drive around and cover up the gaps, make sure the counterattack doesn't go too horribly wrong or something like that. That's just, you know, doing your job. The other two guys got everything else. You just make sure nothing goes too bad. Well done. What a sick series from a race to battle back from behind in 2 of those games.
Well, we do have our final match of the day is still going on. If you're just tuning in and just catching up right now, well, Erase just put up a 3-0 spot against Noble and finished top of their group. But we do have our last match of the day still going on. I believe that is on the B stream. So you can hop over there and check that one out. But we are actually going to go there. So we'll show it right now. We'll head over. So there's still more Rocket League, and we'll pan over to it right now and show you guys that action.
So good from that side. Kaio ripped off and pushed aside as Davatrox comes pushing through in that NASCAR body. You got 33 seconds. That's double tap, and Kaio getting in front of the ball to kill the shot. Card to Tander. Uh-oh, 1v2. Corner card to Tander to card to somebody take the ball. Ooh. What a touch here. Can Kaio get there in time? No. If that was on the goal line, I'm screaming. That would have been unbelievable. Again, the follow-away shots, like these extra touches that go towards the net, makes absolutely 0 sense. Last chance now. That one's under, but Tander punches it out of skill. Not a great day. And that one will drop. Furia take the series 3-0. Much closer in game 3 than any other game in this series. But they get the...
And there, all our matches are now complete. Group stage is finished. We just watched Furia win over on the other stream there. And it's been a lot of games today, but it's seemingly fast in all honesty, because the one we got to watch was a 3-0. That one was a 3-0. And that last series just cleaned up real quick. And again, Chamako, the visionary of the day. He called this from the very beginning. He was accurate. I'll let you talk about it first, because you've been on this Erase squad, Chamako, all day.
I love how Jorby and Achieves were talking about the team, because that's the same way I've been feeling about them the whole time. You know, like PJ Pejota is the guy going for everything, absolutely everything, every 50-50. He wins most of those. Then Sadness is the guy that's in the right place to take advantage of those 50-50s. And Luke is the facilitator. He is laying back, just waiting for anything wrong to happen, and then he'll be there to make adjustments and make the balance. So that's what's happened here, and they were so able to turn around this last match against Noble. I thought Noble was going to game 4, but they had better plans. Not today. Erase was erasing that option.
They most certainly were, Dex. Again, I feel like, I think you said you were on kind of this Erase train as well too. You know, is it a little more solidified in your mind now?
Oh, definitely. Erased is a team that we have to keep an eye on for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big day. Definitely both Erased and Rebel surprised us. I was hoping them to hit top 3 on each group. Wait, no. Rebel, I was hoping to hit top 2. Erased 2. But yeah, I didn't expect it to end top 1 on each group.
Yeah, let's take a look at those groups now, since you're talking about them. We got Erased 4-0 on Group B here, with Rebel taking that 4-0 on the other side there in Group A. True Neutral, the 2nd seed there, and Furia taking the 2nd seed in Group B. It was close. Noble almost stole that 2nd spot, Dex, from Furia. It seemed like they may have, but Furia does come out on top to get themselves that spot in 2nd spot going into that bracket tomorrow. So again, yeah, Erased showing us, Dex, what's up?
Well, Erased, they come here to show what they can do. That's kind of what I was expecting. I thought that Furia would be the top 1 on this group. Other than that, the group is exactly how I expected it to be. Chamako was mentioning that he thought that Pablo Visao had more chances to be on the top 4 than out of skill. I didn't think so, and it is showing right now. So we just have to get ready for what's going to happen tomorrow, because now we got the bracket too.
Yeah, what I like there too is really good work. Is that instead of just saying you thought this, you also pointed out how Chamaco was wrong.
Of course,
so I very much appreciate that.
You know, he is taking me as a step to look even better, you know. So this guy that was talking about the race the whole time and hyping things up, he knows nothing, you know. He knows nothing.
Nah.
I'm the real expert here.
Well, here we have our bracket as we for Championship Sunday. 8 teams made it through. Unfortunately, we lost Free Win and Papo there, and these are our matchups. Chamaco, looking at these ones, anything specifically you've got your eye on?
Man, I think that game between True Neutral and Noble is going to be fun, but I want to see how Out of Skill goes against Rebel. I don't think they are going to win, and yes, this is an early prediction, but they've been playing really good and just increasing their level every single time. So I just want to see how it plays out, how they're going to do it, because that's a team that maybe in the future will do better, and we're going to be talking about them as a possible contender.
Yeah, I feel like, again, a few of these matches looking pretty good. True Neutral, Noble, Erased, Euphoria, Carnage, we'll see how they do against Furia there. And then, of course, Out of Skill, see how they'll do against Rebel. Those 2 matches there, a little bit difficult, but I do like to see Rebel and True Neutral, opposite sides of the bracket there. Makes it nice and possible for them to face off at a grand finals, but they do have Erased and Furia also potentially getting on their way there. So a lot of good matches coming your way tomorrow for Championship Sunday, where we crown a champion for the Spring Split Major. Let's get some final thoughts here before we head off and get ready for that next day there. Dex, if you want to start us off, and Chamaco follow up with some final thoughts on the day.
Well, the thoughts of the day is that it's getting dangerous.
It's exciting over there. Okay, you can just end there. We have the God of Thunder. And he's showing his face here.
I mean, it was a thunder. Maybe it was a call for Thunder to do something tomorrow. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Noble has to work on lots of issues they had today. We got amazing matches. We got perfect predictions, except for the one you picked Noble, but that one doesn't count because, it was a strange
that was
situation.
for you.
Yeah, so we got perfect predictions here. It was kind of what we were expecting. And to be honest, the only thing we can hope is that the teams are ready for tomorrow and that we get closer matches, because we saw lots of 3-0s today, and I don't want to see that tomorrow.
Completely agree. Yeah, I mean, the God of Thunder has spoken, so there's not much to add. The only thing I can say, semifinals and forward tomorrow are going to be absolutely amazing. I can wait for that. And tomorrow is going to be best of 7, right? It's a little bit longer for each team, but they have to keep the mental focus the whole time to perform, which is another challenge in itself. So let's see how they do tomorrow.
All right, I'm going to end things off here so I don't accidentally speak too much and make Dex mad here, because it sounds like I wouldn't win that fight. Thank you guys for joining us today. We do crown a champion tomorrow for Championship Sunday. Same time. Make sure you're here for the pre-show. Make sure, of course, you're also here for that kickoff. You don't want to miss any of these matches. Single elimination, best of 7s across the board. Again, thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow for some more South American Rocket League.
Wow.
Verizon knows how to build unlimited right. Start with America's most awarded network.
I'm on my phone 24/7.
Then, for the first time ever, give families more entertainment with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, now all included.
We're a big soccer family.
Handmaid's Tale. I love Frozen.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need.
You get so much more than this, a great network.
With plans starting at just $35, the network more people rely on gives you more. This is unlimited built right, only on Verizon.
People think this is an individual sport, that it's all about the driver. But if you don't have the timing and the right team, it doesn't matter.
There you go, champ. Awesome.
It's a bit of a dance, really. You've got to stay ahead of the game. And even then, sometimes your best isn't enough. You've got to work together to pop off. Let's go.